Hey y'all, it is December the 17th, 2017, and y'all, I wanted to take a brief moment to holler at y'all about some stuff that normally I'm not familiar with. I want to talk to you about a basketball player who was murdered from the NBA. His name was Lorenzon Wright, right? This fellow was murdered back in 2010. I don't know all the details, but suffice it to say there's been updates upon the murder of Lorenzon Wright from the NBA. And it brings to mind a couple of things that I think is important to think about concerning the whole situation. Now, Lorenzon Wright was an NBA player. Like I said, he was getting some of that money. He was getting some of that good money. I don't hate on it at all. You know, I'm happy that he was getting that money. All right, but he was getting that money up in the NBA. And in 2010, this guy who, to be honest with you, I did not know this person at all. I don't really watch basketball or anything like that. He went ahead and he got murdered 2010. All right. They're starting to now figure it all out. And in that his wife at the time, who he was planning on getting a divorce from, she in fact saw to his murder. All right. She really did. I think she was in cahoots with her new boyfriend or whatever. And her new boyfriend might have done it, went ahead and killed this guy by the name of Lorenzon Wright. His wife's name, I think, was something like Sharia or something like that. Sharia Wright. All right, what she does, she has her new boyfriend come and go ahead and murder Lorenzon Wright back there in 2010. Now, like I said, I wasn't familiar, but I've been caught up on some of the details that are quite interesting. There's a couple things to go over concerning this particular case. All right. One thing that I want to mention first is that Lorenzon Wright and Sharia Wright, they had 6 children together, which I find to be baffling. I mean, I don't know if there's anybody else out there who might agree with me. It's like, dude, if you have one child with somebody and you murder them, that's bad. All right. But at least it's just one. If you have 6 children, I mean, it blows my mind, to be honest. I don't know about y'all out there, but it blows my mind. How do you have 6 children with somebody and wind up murdering them? Well, that's what happened. All right. And just to keep the story brief, like I said, I don't know all the details, but it seems as though Lorenzon Wright, after 6 children, for whatever reason, he wanted a divorce from Sharia Wright. That's what he wanted, a divorce. Before that divorce ever happened, guess what? He got murdered. All right. So he got murdered, I think, by her new boyfriend at the time, and he's going down for it too. He got murdered by his wife's new boyfriend. All right. And apparently what happened is, you know how there's a process leading up to divorces. Apparently during the process, Miss Sharia herself said, hey, look, Lorenzon, you want to take care of your children, right? You're going to have to pay child support, obviously, all over the place, but you want to take care of your children and stuff like that. You need to get an insurance policy. That's right. A life insurance policy on you, boy. You need to take out a sizable life insurance policy, or else you don't care about your children, Lorenzon. That's what Sharia said during this whole divorce procedure. And guess what? Shortly after he did so, he got a life insurance policy. It was about $1 million. She went ahead and she cashed in on it. All right. Guess what? That's absolutely premeditated. It does blow the mind, considering the fact is they had 6 children together. That's crazy. All right. But she went ahead and did it. She went ahead and had him murdered, took his insurance money, that whole $1 million. Guess what? Blew it in about 10 months, all right? Believe it or not, she was not spending it on the children. Believe it or not, all right? She blew it in about 10 months, all right? And what's crazy is there's a lot of things to discuss concerning the situation, in which we discuss on this channel quite often. I guess the first thing that we'll tackle right now is this. Apparently, when a Mr. Wright got found murdered, when he was first disappeared and people were looking for him, apparently the story goes that a neighbor actually witnessed Miss Sharia with her new boyfriend in the backyard having a fire on that very day. All right. This apparently was during the summertime. Like, this was this was during the hottest part of the year. Parts of the year where people just don't really tend to have fires. So they went ahead and they had a fire. Obviously, they were burning all sort of evidence. Obviously. All right. So what I want to draw attention to is this. Obviously, in this situation, you have a case where the wife is extremely angry. All right. Say what you will about her. I don't know hardly anything about her. She was extremely angry. For whatever reason, her new boyfriend was also extremely angry. He was an extremely angry person, and I don't know anything about her boyfriend at all. I don't know any of the details, but I can guarantee you that he was an angry person. Right? The reason is because when you have anger, what anger will do is cloud your judgment. It will put some goggles on you, some stupid goggles. You'll forget reality. You'll not understand it no more. All right. These two people were so angry, and it's obvious to see how angry they were because they were bonded to the fact that if you have a fire in the back of your house in the middle of the summertime, when your husband just disappeared that very day, it's going to look mad suspicious. And the thing is, I don't know why people weren't listening to this neighbor years ago, because the murder took place in 2010. We're 7 years deep. All right. But she did get caught up with it. It does go to show you that, the process in which, people are finding murderers is a very, very slow process. And that's disturbing. But it also goes to show you that anybody in the world would have known better than to have a fire and incriminate yourself in such a public fashion in your backyard where everybody could see it. Everybody would know better. It is complete common sense. It doesn't take more than a child to know better than to do that. You're going to get caught, all right? But that's the thing about anger. And I want everybody to just step back and understand that we might get into situations that make us angry. It's not going to benefit us to be angry because we're going to make stupid, silly decisions like Miss Sharia. She got caught. It took her long enough to get caught for the heinous act that she did. And she left all her children without their father, number one. And now 7 years later, irregardless, I don't think she was a good one. Now her children don't have a mother either, right? Because of the actions that she took. All right. And she made some stupid, silly mistakes because of her anger. She could not see reality any longer. There was no more reality for this lady. And you will note that our system that we have set up does cater to people like this. They do get away with it for long periods of time, like 7 and 8 years at a time. Will they get away with basically running amok? Spending also, how do you spend how do you spend $1 million in 10 months and you're a responsible person? It doesn't happen. All right. She was wilding out. She's obviously doped up off all sort of drugs. All right. So with all that being said, that's pretty terrible. But I did want to talk about this to a Mr. Lorenzon Wright. May he be in a better place right now. I didn't know Mr. Lorenzon Wright. All right, but I want to talk to everybody out there who wants success, especially in regards to finances, who want financial success, because certainly Lorenzon Wright had that success. All right, he was getting all sort of millions of dollars. From what I understand, during his career, he collected about $55 million. All right, so he was really doing the dang thing. He was pretty dang successful. For everybody out there who's considering taking this avenue in life, or you might want a little taste. You want a little taste of that success, that financial glory. You might want some of that. Here's something very important that we have to discuss right now, that you need to take deadly serious, is this. And we brought it up before on this channel. You do not have friends. You don't. The end of the story. All right. And I know that might seem sad, and I know that might seem lonely, but it does not matter. If you get to a certain financial status where you're having so much success that you're running stuff as a man, understand this. What I've said before, I just said it now. I'll say it again. You do not have friends. You do not have the capability of having friends. In fact, nobody really does, but especially this goes for people who are in financial success. You do not have friends. You need to meditate on this. If that's what you plan to do, if that's the path you want to take, if you want money, if you want that money, you want to go get that money, I do not blame you. I cannot blame you. Go and live your life. As a young man, I can only applaud you. You don't have friends. You need to understand this, because I'm not the first person to say this, all right? In fact, there's been many rap songs where you hear the person clearly saying, you know, all these niggas around me, they're just around me because I got money. They're just around me because I got drugs. And if all this money and drugs were to dry up today, they would be from around me. They're not actually my friends. And I've heard many rappers say it, and it brings a tear to my eye. Think about it. No, they're not your friends. Your money dries up, they will leave. That is a guarantee. All right. And a lot of these rappers don't know that. They think they have friends out there. It's a terribly pathetic situation. No, you do not have friends. There's the rappers who I tend to listen to, if I listen to rap, understand clearly that they don't have friends, that friends do not exist in their life. All right. And it's a hard truth that it takes a little time to wrap your head around, but you'll be better off for it. Because here's the thing. Typical situation is someone comes up with no money and stuff, but they come up out of it and they get some money and they get some success. What they tend to do as a young man is they take care of the people around them. All right. They give them all sort of money, all sort of goodies, all sort of drugs, this and that. They give these people money. Now, it could be very new people in their life, people that they just met. Those people are out for drugs and money, period. They're not your friends. Your drugs and money are gone. They are gone as well. Now, another problem is that they'll take people who have been there since day one. You know what I'm saying? Those day one people, those no new friends. I got my day one people around me. That's what they tend to do. And they'll take care of these people, and they'll give them money, and they'll give them drugs and stuff like this. They'll give them all sort of fancy things. That's also a problem. That's a problem. And it does not matter that they were there since day one. Because the thing is, unfortunately, financially speaking, by definition, y'all don't have friends. And when I say friends, I also mean girlfriends and stuff like this. You don't have those. It is impossible to have those. You cannot have those no longer. You can either make the choice, either have some friends and be poor as hell, or go out and get some money and you don't have friends no more. It does not exist. All right. And like I said, that seems sad and lonely to some people. A lot of people get paranoid, like they can't trust anybody if like they're celebrities or if they got some money. They start to get paranoid. They think, well, I can't trust nobody and stuff. I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's my friends. And they start having what's called rich people problems. All right. Which are very serious. They start to think to themselves, man, who is really my friends? I don't know. I can't figure it out. I got all this money and people are around me and they claim that they love me and stuff. But if I didn't have the money, if I didn't have these drugs and stuff, would they still be around me? I don't know. All right. That's a very serious question that a lot of people with money are asking themselves. That's the wrong question. I got to let you know. It will distract from what you really need to know. All right. And the problem is that we've been taught in the wrong way what is friends. All right. Friends, and especially for people who have money, who have financial success. Friends are people, and this is the way that Donald Trump describes them. This is the way a lot of successful people describe friends. Friends are people who are not criminally immoral, who are not going to bring you down on some sort of like disgusting, scandal type issue. Friends are people who are relatively moral people who help you get money. or help you get success, or help you get exposure. They benefit you in some sort of significant way. And if they don't benefit you in some sort of significant way, then get them from around you. They're not your friends. They're not your girlfriends. They're not anybody to take up for. Stop giving them money. In fact, get away from them as soon as you can. All right. If they don't benefit you greatly and significantly, I mean, basically think about it like this. You're a man, you're getting that money, you're making a franchise out of yourself, basically. I mean, you're really putting a brand name on yourself. Everybody knows about you around town, you're getting that money. All right. So if that is the case, what you need to do is find people who can allow you to get more of that money. And that is what a friend is. It allow you to get more opportunity to get some of that money. That is what a friend is. That is what a good friend is. You do not have friends, like I said, to hang out with and bullshit with and smoke reefer with all day. You don't have that. That does not exist. It's impossible. You don't have a girlfriend. Oh, we're all romantic. Oh, we love each other and stuff like this. And oh, we're going to carry on. You cannot have that. It has been made financially, numerically impossible. You can't have it. I'm sorry to tell you. But you need to wrap your head around it. That's the real deal. You can't have any girlfriends no more. If you do have a girlfriend, or you do want to have a wife later on, what you need to understand is this. That person needs to benefit you in some sort of crazy significant way. And if they don't, if all they do is turn out children while you make all the money and stuff like this, you need to get rid of them. Real quickly, actually. All right, because it's going to turn into a deadly serious situation in which you might have your wife murdering you and taking your insurance money. She didn't give a damn about you anyways. And the 6 kids didn't mean nothing, apparently, to her. Isn't that weird? The 6 kids meant nothing to her somehow. I wonder how that is. But that's the thing. You got to find someone who will benefit you. If that's what you're out to get, money, well, you need to get a girl who benefits you financially. All right. And if she doesn't, kick her to the damn curb, because she's going to eventually want you murdered unless you just cater to her every need. If you don't cater to her every need, she's going to eventually get you murdered. Why? Because she doesn't have no talent. She don't bring nothing to the table. She can't get money that you get. All right. She's going to get jealous of it, and you're never going to see it coming. You're going to think, oh man, she would never do it. Guess what? She would do it. But the thing is, you weren't asking yourself at the beginning of the situation, what does she bring to the table? If it's nothing, well, bye then. All right. And the perfect example is something that I'll leave off on right now. And there's many, many examples. The most perfect example I could think about is Donald Trump and that Melania. All right, let's really think about this. Okay, Donald Trump, he's been married, 3 times, something like that. He got married to Melania. Here's what you got to know about Melania. She brings something to the table. You understand that? She can get money. All right, that's not a problem. You take Donald Trump out of the situation, Melania is still getting that money. That is not a problem. She is a picture perfect example of an assistant in life. All right. There's no reason, there never ever would be a reason for Melania to ever think to murder Donald Trump, because she does not need Donald Trump in that way. All right. And that's just something for everybody, especially these young men, to understand. And maybe young ladies out there, you want to get some money. You need to think about this too. If they don't bring something to the table, if they're not getting you money, if they're not getting you opportunity, they need to go by the wayside, and eventually they're going to murder you. All right. Unfortunately, but it happened time and time again. And it's unfortunate, this whole Lorenzon Wright situation. I feel for him, but you know what? A lot of mistakes were made here. A lot of simple mistakes. And it breaks my heart, y'all. It's December the 17th, 2017. I'll holler at y'all later.